Welcome to this Miata Mania round 4 track guide then at St. Croixby 2, which is the reverse track, of course. We're going to head towards turn 1 then, and what you're looking for is the 100 meter board right there. Now, critically for this, if you go on the 100 meters or just after it, you're going to run quite deep into the corner. I start to brake earlier, just earlier than the 100 meter board. I'll try and keep it above 90 miles an hour where I can here. I had to lift a little bit there on exit because the car understeered a little bit, but just be careful as you go through that corner. This is where it gets difficult, okay? So I'm on the far left and I'm heading far right, and I do that before that total sign hits the edge of my screen. Basically, I'm aiming for the apex of the corner, even though I can't see it. And I want to maintain all the way through here 120 miles an hour. Now, at this point, I start to lift off. Now, the reason I do that is because I want to reduce the understeer a little bit. I want to maintain a tight line here. So I reduce it, but I want to stay above 120 if possible. Or I just drop underneath there. You can cut a lot of this left-hander. And then as you get to this point here, you want to turn in early again to reduce understeer because it's a double apex corner. So as that black mark there happens on the track, you want to turn in. I've lifted off a little bit there. I've tried to hit both apexes there. And that is one of the best ones I did in this 20 lap practice I did. Now, as you head towards this braking zone, literally as the start patch of circuit is here, at the end of that, as you pass that, that's when you want to brake. You drop to third gear, and the car can get a bit oversteer here, so just be careful. Try and keep it at 70 miles an hour. I dropped just underneath that in terms of speed, but you can see here, I'm dropping underneath that, but you can see my times on the right-hand side, so, you know, it's not the end of the world here. You then have a long straight here, so you can breathe a little bit. There's a time reference point there and there if you want to use those on the right-hand side, where the tracks join and leave, etc. We're going to head to up here now. And on the left-hand side, you've got a row of trees there. The first tree, there is your brake marker. You can see just as I've got to that point, I've just come off the throttle and just started to brake. You're going to brake hard initially, 100% braking, and then you're going to lift off before the end of the blue and white barrier on the left. And as you come through here, what you're looking for is either the dark patch that I've highlighted on the circuit or the bridge. Now, depending on how you've taken this, if you've run a bit deep, you might have to wait a little bit longer. But the minute you start to see those bits of tarmac or bridge, that's when you start to accelerate. And you get over to the left-hand side as fast as possible. And you look for that tree on the right-hand side there. It's a row of trees again. You brake before this. You're going uphill here. So if you can brake just on the crest of the hill, just before the crest, you'll slow down a bit further. Now, drop to third gear at the very last second rather than dropping it quickly, because the car can get unstable quite quickly under the braking as it's a change of weight. But I always try and stay in fourth gear a bit longer, drop to third, and then balance the car. Very hard corner to do that last one, so just try and work on that. Crossing the bridge, we're going to get to the give way sign here. And just as you pass this give way sign, you can see here, or just as I've got to it, but it's just as you pass it really. You can see I've just come off the throttle and just about to brake. Again, third gear. Now, you want to actually maintain the throttle as early as possible here. Try and maintain a higher speed. Very easy to just let off and let the car roll because it's downhill. But you can gain so much time by just maintaining that increased apex speed. So do try and push through that corner. Brake early for it though. Better to brake early there than late. Heading towards this corner. This is a very tricky corner to get right. So we've got the curb on the left hand side. You want to brake before that curb. So you can see I'm already 100% braking here before the start of this curb. And that's the sort of gap you want. I go a little bit deep here, a tiny bit. And I drop under 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour is your apex speed target there. That's when you know you've nailed it. So through we go. And we're going to head towards the right-hand side now. Normally we use the dead tree, but not in this instance. We are, once again, using the 100-meter board here. So as you get to the 100-meter board, or a tiny bit after it, you're going to brake to fourth gear. And you want to sort of get the car turned in and get on the slippy part of the circuit. Now, you can try and keep 90 miles an hour. Very difficult to do because it depends which line you take. But this is a lap guide here at St. Croixby 2, and that is a 2:23.6. Definitely more time in it there as well. But good luck for Miata Mania round 4, and I hope to see you there in qualifying.